We are live from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major headlines for this broadcast. Meeting with youth workers in southern Red Sea region. A new dam under construction in Shakat administrative area. Chad to expel German ambassador over discourteous attitude. The IMF global economy heading for weakest growth since the year 1999. Welcome to your news in brief. Your domestic, Mr. Razana Mikhail, Secretary of PFDJ in the southern Red Sea region, organized a meeting with youth workers that are engaged in the teaching and health sector in the port city of Assab. At the meeting, Mr. Razana pointed out that building a prosperous and developed country falls on the shoulders of the youth in general and that of educated ones in particular. Said the PFDJ is exerting strong effort to that regard, indicating that the Eritrean people emerged victorious, foiling external hostilities owing to its strong unity and preservance. Mr. Razana expressed expectation that the youth will bequeath the noble societal values and strengthen participation in the national affairs. The head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in the region, Mr. Osman Abdul Qadir, on his part, called on the youth to develop their capacity alongside their daily activities and become exemplary in their place of work. The participants called for the sustainability of the meeting at the end. A new dam with a view to alleviate the potable water supply to the public and to develop irrigation farming is under construction in Shakat administrative area, Barantu subzone. Engineer Gurja Warada, head of the Dam and Water Diversion Schemes development in the region, said that the program started in March with strong participation of the public and that with its completion, the socioeconomic problem of the residents will be solved. Engineer Gurja further noted that the residents have previously conducted water and soil conservation activity that covered over 16,000 meters and renovated 10 kilometers dirt road. The residents of Shakat administrative area indicated that they have been compelled to travel long distance for fetching water consumption, livestock, and expressed readiness to strengthen participation in the program until the completion of the construction of the dam. The Shakat Dam will have capacity of holding 15,000 meters cubic water. At a seminar in Sergeant Bain Risom, commander of the 5th police station conducted to Adghayah Bahari Secondary School, students and parents on 8 April called on teachers and parents to strengthen participation in the effort to nurture youth that adhere to the noble societal value. The administrator of the subzone of Travolo and Tsatsarat on their part called on the residents to strengthen participation in ensuring the safety of their area and inform the concerned institutions in the case they observed crime and offences being committed within the area. The parents on their part indicated that the significance of the seminar called for its sustainability in the same vein that the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the southern region organized a seminar to students focusing on significance of education. At the seminar, Mr. Saleh Nafi, head of the organizational and political affairs of the union branch, called on the students to concentrate on their education and become competitive. Up next with your global news, stay with us for more. On your reports on the international line, Chad's government has ordered the German ambassador to leave the country within 48 hours. It said in a statement. The country also communications minister said on Twitter late on Friday that this decision of the government is motivated by the discourteous attitude and the non-respect of diplomatic customs. Government spokesman Aziz Mohammed Saleh urged the ambassador to leave Chadian territory within 48 hours. Two Chadian government sources told the Reuters news agency that Ambassador Gordon Kerke had criticized dailies in holding elections after the coup and a ruling last year that will allow interim military leader Mohammed Idris Dubai to run in election in 2024. Germany's foreign minister did not comment on Kerke's expulsion, but a source familiar with the ministry's thinking told Reuters that the move was absolutely incomprehensible and that it was in contact with Chadian authorities. Kerke has been in the role since July the year 2021. He has previously served as a diplomat in Niger, Angola, and Philippines. He was also a special representative of Germany in the unstable Sahel region. On your final report, the global economy, as the reports came from the IMF, the global economy is heading for the weakest period of its growth since the year 1990, and higher interest rates set by the world's top central banks drive up borrowing costs of household and businesses, and heads of the International Monetary Fund was also warned. Kristalina Georgina, the IMF's managing director, said a sharp slowdown in the world's economy last year after the aftershocks of the COVID pandemic and the Russian war and Ukraine would continue in the year 2023 and risk persisting for the next 5 years. In a certain riser speech before the fund's spring meeting in Washington, D.C. next week, she said in a report global growth would remain about 3% over the next 5 years, its lowest medium-term growth forecast since the year 1990. This makes it even harder to reduce poverty, heal the economy scares of the COVID crisis, and provide new and better opportunities for all, as Georgieva reported. In a downbeat assessment, however, as the world grapples with the worst inflation shock in decades, she said economic activity was slowing across the advanced economies in particular, while there was some momentum from developing nations, including China and India, low-income countries were also suffering from higher borrowing costs and falling demand for their exports. Ahead of the IMF publishing a revised economic forecast next week, Georgieva said global growth in the year 2022 has collapsed by almost half since the initial rebound from the COVID pandemic in the year 2021, sliding from 6.1% to 3.4%, with higher inflation raising borrowing costs and mounting geopolitical tensions. She also reported that growth was a track to drop below 33% in the year 2023 and remain weak for years to come. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we're back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these are a recap of today's Heads Up. Meeting with youth workers in southern Red Sea region. A new dam under construction in Shakat administrative area, and more on your domestic. Chad to expel German ambassador over discourteous attitude. And the IMF global economy heading for weakest growth since the year 1990. Thanks for watching once more, and stay tuned for more news, and have a nice one.